February 13th, 2020 meeting of the Parker Planning Commission to order at 7 p.m. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Absent is Ileana. Absent is Rich. So Susan and Tracy, trying to think who's who here, are seated for the absent members. Right? Yes. Okay. Are there any additions to or deletions from the agenda?
No, sir, there are not.
Okay, thank you. Next item, approval of minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes from January 23rd?
No, sir.
Do we have a motion?
I move we approve the January 23rd, 2020 meeting minutes.
Second.
It's been moved by John, seconded by Ruth Ann, that we approve the meeting minutes from January 23rd, 2020. Please note your vote on your screen. Okay. And that is approved unanimously. Next item, number 6 on our agenda, is the Dransfeldt Place Planned Development, which was continued from our January 23rd meeting. It is a rezoning, and we will open the public hearing at 7:02. Brianna?
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman and Planning Commission. Can you hear me? This is a proposal for an amendment to the Dransfeldt Place Planned Development. The applicant, Colorado Steel Systems, is proposing to amend the Dransfeldt Place PD to allow certain light industrial uses to be changed from a use by special review to a use by right. The Community Development Department has co-signed this application in accordance with Section 13.04.240 of the LDO. The 12 parcels within this development are located on the west side of Dransfeldt Road between Lincoln Meadows Parkway and Plaza Drive. Within this development, there are 2 existing storage facilities located on Lot 8 and Lot 10. These were approved by a use by special review in 2016 in accordance with the requirements of the Storage Uses Overlay District Ordinance approved in 2016. These uses are considered legal non-conforming uses today. Lots 3A and 3B are also under construction with a new light industrial building, and the remaining lots are vacant. The Parker 2035 master plan shows these properties located in the light industrial character area, and the proposed rezoning will allow for limited light industrial uses by right on these properties, which aligns with the master plan. The existing planned development use table was evaluated against the LDO's light industrial zoning district as they relate to uses by right. The list of uses has also been consolidated to reduce redundant uses. Uses not compatible within the light industrial district have been reduced, and all uses have been reworded to align with those found in the current LDO. There are 9 criteria used to evaluate a rezoning application. These criteria ensure that the use will be consistent with the surrounding area, will not result in overuse of the land, create traffic congestion, or be detrimental to the town. Staff met with the property owners for the 2 existing storage uses within this development, and based on this discussion, staff is proposing the amended language above to the mini storage warehouse footnote to be added to the PD guide. The intent of this language is to provide clarity that the existing uses can continue as legal nonconforming per the town's LDO. Additionally, staff has heard concerns for this area as they relate to heavy industrial uses. In order to provide clarity, staff is also recommending that the intent be updated with the definition of light industrial. The purpose of this language is to ensure that all uses are light industrial in nature. Staff has reviewed the proposal as outlined within the staff report and has determined that the project is consistent with the master plan. The project satisfies the 9 criteria required in the LDO for a rezone, and the public notice requirements have been met. Staff is recommending that Planning Commission recommend that Town Council approve the rezoning request to allow certain light industrial uses as a use by right in the Dransfeldt Place Planned Development as outlined in staff's report with the 2 amendments presented today. Staff is available for any questions that planning commissioners may have, and the applicant is also present this evening to answer any questions.
Questions for Brianna?
I have a couple, Brianna.
Yep.
As I was looking through the general commercial uses, I noticed that you had, and this was brought, it hit me because of the comment from the engineering for traffic, that they would need new traffic studies because this was not originally planned. I was just wondering, if we're changing it from light industrial, why would we need to have, where was it? The fast food, the takeout, instructional services and studios, those are all things that would, have a lot more traffic. Was that originally in the use by right? So we're not changing that, or is that also being added? That wasn't clear to me from the presentation.
So those commercial uses were originally in the planned development. So we went through the commercial uses and limited a few of them, but we wanted to ensure that we weren't taking away too much of what is allowed there today.
Okay. Have you added anything in that would have given rise to that comment from the traffic engineering folks that said that, they'd need another, because it was a change in the planned development? Do you know the
So-
comment I'm talking about that was made in our packet? Let me see if I can pull that up for you.
So if I may,
Sure.
for any site plan, we require that the applicant submit a traffic compliance letter. So that's compliance with the original traffic study. And so if they were to supply a traffic compliance study that didn't match, and this would be the case whether this rezoning occurred or not, they would have to do a full traffic study. So I think that's what they're trying to at least make the applicant aware of, is if they propose a use that was not originally contemplated in the traffic study, it will go from a traffic compliance letter to a new traffic study. But that would be done as part of the site plan process.
Okay. Let's see if I can find this. Other people can ask questions while I'm looking.
Other questions?
Doesn't answer my question.
We can save it for the next go-around, too.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
All right. Any questions for the applicant? No? Okay. As this is a public hearing, we will open up the meeting to public comment. Anyone who wishes to speak for this item should step to the podium and address the dais. We don't answer questions from here. We will wait till everybody finishes their public comment, and then either staff or other members of town staff will respond to the questions. Each person has 3 minutes to speak, and we ask that you honor that timeline. We have a clock up there. And so we will open the public hearing, the public comment part of the hearing. So if you wish to speak on this, step forward to the podium. Seeing none, we will close the public comment. Did you find your
I
question?
did, I found the reference. the sentence that's giving me issues is, several of the issues now proposed to be allowed as a use by right. Convenience store, indoor recreation, et cetera, would generate far more traffic than originally assumed, which made me think that other things besides just changing it to light industrial is being done here. So I was unclear about that.
So what engineering is trying to make the applicant aware of is that we went through the list of uses and we made a number of uses that were used by right for light industrial, permitted by right, and then there were some assembly uses that have been reduced or removed, and then we've still kept in a number of commercial uses that were allowed, which do have higher traffic volumes than light industrial. So just making sure that all property owners are aware that, like Bryce said, depending on which use comes in, they'll have to review it against a traffic study that's out there today to make sure that it's in compliance, or they may need another traffic study depending on what that use is.
Okay.
Other questions for staff?
No. No.
All right, then we will close the public hearing at 7:11. And Commissioner discussion.
Yeah, this is kind of a good, substantial cleanup of everything, and it does meet the 9 criteria, but I think it's something that needed to be clarified overall for not only the development that's there, but anything that's coming in around it, because there's still property to be developed on that site in addition to what the applicant is asking for. Am I correct, Bree?
That is correct. This is for all 12 properties.
And I'm in favor of this because it does clarify some of the issues that were out there in the past.
Yep, I agree with John. I appreciate the fact that you guys added in the definition of intent so that not only can we understand it, but the property owners surrounding the businesses that may have some concern about some future development, it can now hopefully be put at ease by what the intent behind the projects and the properties are going to be. So I'm in favor.
I have nothing to add. I'm also in favor.
I like that you've made it very clear that there's no additional warehouse, not warehouse, but storage facilities, but that the ones that are there are going to continue as non-conforming. I think that's done very well and very clearly. And I'm assuming that any drainage issues and things like that on any future development would be dealt with in the process of the planning stage.
Drainage will be reviewed at site plan and building permit.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have any really other further comments. I agree with my fellow commissioners, so I would approve.
I appreciate the fact that we're bringing this into compliance with the land development ordinance, and appreciate staff's work on making that happen and their work with the property owners and people that are involved in the area. Do we have a motion?
I move the Planning Commission recommend Town Council approve the request to rezone the property to Dransfeldt Place Planned Development, Amendment Number 1, subject to updating both the intent and mini-storage warehouses, including recreational vehicle storage. Language as provided during this public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved by John, seconded by Eric, that Planning Commission recommend Town Council approve the request to rezone the property to Dransfeldt Place Planned Development Amendment Number 1, subject to updating both the intent and mini-storage warehouses, including recreational vehicle storage language as provided during the public hearing. Please note your vote on the screen. Passes unanimously. Bryce, any items for?
No, sir, they're not.
All right, then we will adjourn at, well,
I just wanted to remind commissioners that the February 27th meeting is canceled.
Okay.
Thank
I thought you were going to remind us that tomorrow was Valentine's Day. Thank you, Rosemary. She reminds me all the time. So we will adjourn at 7:15. Thank you for coming.